Hello, boyos!
Hello, boyos.
This is the Loner Gamecast, where we discuss that everything in the entire world, in the whole world, is video games. That's right, you heard it here first. Actually, you've heard it here multiple times. Everything is video games. That is my co-host, Jake, over there. Jacob, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. This just in, Nick. Everything is video games. Can you believe it?
Breaking news, everybody. Stop the presses. Print that out. We got a big-ass story. Everything is video games is coming to you live from the Loner Gamecast Studios.
So I went to Raising Cane's before here, which is a chicken place, and I got some lemonade. This shit is tart. I just thought I'd share with you.
It's the best. I love it.
It is tart, my man.
I love some tart.
How you doing?
I almost said chicken wings. That's not right. They don't sell chicken wings.
The chicken is not tart.
No, do not get the tart chicken. My name is Nick. And I'm doing okay.
I'm happy to hear that.
Fine. Thanks.
That's awesome. That is so good.
It's okay.
Brings me such joy.
Okay. Good. I can see it in your face. I did not go to Cane's and I did not get the tart chicken.
Your mistake.
But as soon as you lifted that up, I'm like, damn, I need to go get a drink. Why did we start this? So let's fucking rush through it. I'm gonna rush through it because I'm parched now. You fucked the show. I'm parched.
Danielle, when you get back from your bike ride, get Nick a drink.
Yeah, there you go. Give me a drink if you would. Want to become famous? Buy followers, primes, and viewers
I'm trying to ignore
on
it.
bigfollows.com. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Thanks for that. EIELI3. I'm not even going to fucking say that.
I was trying to ignore it, but yeah, just for everyone who's watching on YouTube, we are live on twitch.tv/lonercast. Go check us out. God damn it.
Yeah, Monday at 3:30 every week. We haven't missed a fucking week.
Never.
We've been doing this for a year and we haven't missed a fucking week.
I missed one. I did.
You did, but the show must go on, as they say.
Right. That's
and
right.
We did it without you. So with that, what you been playing, Jake? What have you? You don't have anything in this document, so I don't know. I'm kind of excited, but I'm also a little scared.
The reason I have nothing written in this.
Oh no.
And it's much like last week. I haven't played goddamn anything, man. If I'm being honest. Dude. I always try to play something to stay up to date. And I've seen a lot of movies over the past week, if I'm being honest. I saw Jungle Cruise. I saw Space Jam again. We watched Thor, which we just did that. Yeah. We watched the Suicide Squad. So I've just watched a lot of movies. I haven't played any video games. But I promise you, this week, hella video games.
Yeah.
Hella.
Same. I plan on actually starting up a stream, but that's kind of a secret project as of right now. So I didn't say that. But you know what I was going to say is I went to see Suicide Squad with a couple of friends. And this friend is very into movies, right? So we go and we're like, okay, cool. Yeah, I want to see Suicide Squad. Let's go check it out. And as I'm buying the tickets the day before the showing, I realized that they had bought an IMAX tickets. And I'm like, IMAX? Okay. I don't understand the upcharge. I don't understand IMAX.
It's not even that much of an upcharge.
It was $35 for both of us.
Oh yeah, it's like $15. Yeah,
that's ridiculous. That's so much money. But
I feel like a regular movie ticket's like $12 though.
It depends. I'm pretty I would assume 10. So 50% more.
It's cheaper during
still 50% more.
It's cheaper during the week, but if you're going to an opening night movie, it's usually like $12.
Okay, well, I'm not sure. But that got me a little peeved. And then I got home, and the next day, I realized that fucking Suicide Squad was on HBO Max. And I wanted to throw up.
See, you brought this up to me. I love IMAX. I like the huge fucking screen. I think it's really cool. and like the big sound system. I'm more
the sound is probably the only part that really I saw difference from quality.
I am more of a Dolby Atmos fan myself.
Yeah,
that's where they hang the speakers, and that's where I saw it, was in Dolby Atmos. I tend to see, if I can, opening night movies, I tend to see them in Dolby Atmos.
Yeah, because you get the Dolby,
the rumble in your seats and shit, and
you get the Dolby professional who comes out and like has to like put the little microphones everywhere and make sure that every place is prime audio. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
And there is an upcharge for Dolby Atmos as well, but like
but that seems worth it.
Yeah,
it seems worth it. IMAX is like, here's a big screen.
IMAX is really cool for like nature documentaries, though.
It's really cool for like Spy Kids 3D.
Like, I think it'd be cool for Suicide Squad, although Suicide Squad is very dark. We'll save the Suicide Squad talk, though.
Right. I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll probably bring that up again because it's just in such a... It peeved me a little bit, but you brought it up, and I'm like, fuck, dude, it was on HBO Max. Could have just watched it there for free.
Oh, you sat way too close in my IMAX. Yeah, I know the people who you saw the movie with, and they like sitting extremely close to the screen, which is a huge red flag for me. I like to sit right in the middle of the theater because you get a perfect view of the screen, and the sound is optimized for that.
Right.
So,
yeah.
But these people are like, you get to see the screen better if you're up close. I'm not trying to call these people out, but
like I'm a tall guy. I'm a tall guy, so my head like rests here above the seat. So the whole time my head's like this, right? And I'm like looking at freaking John Cena's forehead, but we'll get into that later. Yeah. Anyway, I have been playing a new game that is not technically out yet, I don't believe.
No, it's not.
And there's a beta out, and I just kind of downloaded on a whim because I saw this article on Kotaku that's like, this game is actually really fucking good. And I'm like, okay, well, if Kotaku's saying it, maybe it is. I'll give it a chance. So I downloaded it. It's a game called Splitgate. And what it is it's an arena shooter, much in the vein of Halo. It's not as fast as like Doom multiplayer or Unreal Engine, but it is an arena shooter about the speed of Halo. But it also mixes Portal into it. So like there's certain walls where you can shoot a portal and then shoot another portal, and only you can see through the portal. Other people can like shoot through the portal, but only you can see through it. So you can like put a portal on the ceiling and then put a portal on a window in front of you, and you just walk up to it and you can shoot at people. And if somebody comes up behind you, you just walk through the portal and they have no idea like where you went. And it's really, really cool. It took a minute, a couple of games to actually like understand it, because the first 2 or 3 games that I played, I'm like, I don't like this. This doesn't. I don't get it. The spawns seem weird. It seems slow, but then once it clicks, it's like, oh, dude, this game feels really good. And you always start with the same guns, and you pick up guns very much like Unreal Engine or Halo. But it's really good, and I'm really excited for you to actually like jump in there and play with me.
Yeah, you told me about it yesterday when I went to your place to watch Thor. You were playing it when I got there. I'm like, damn, are you playing Halo right now? Like, what is this? And then you like shot a portal. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? It looks really cool. I downloaded it, and I started it up today, and I got like placed in a queue, and it was like taking too long. And I'm like, I gotta go.
It takes like 5 minutes to get through the queue, it seems.
Yeah,
it seems to be
seems like this game is bigger than they had anticipated.
It seems like it's doing all right, honestly.
Yeah, which is cool. It's cool. It seems like everyone's talking about it over the past weekend, really.
Yeah. So. And apparently this beta's been going on for a minute too. Like, it just keeps snowballing kind of thing. It's like,
it's just the word,
which is good. It just kind of goes to show how good it is, because it's just like, oh dude, have you played this? And it started out with nobody, and now it's kind of splintering off into people who haven't heard about it, and they're like, okay, yeah, I'll give it a shot. So it's cool. It's cool. I'll probably pick it up, honestly, because I'm having such a good time with it. If it's not free, I can imagine it being free or like cheap, like a PlayStation Plus game or something. But it's really good, and check it out if you get the opportunity. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Are you ready to move on to the little titties that we have? The 3 little titties?
I love little titties, man.
I know you do. We're excited for these ones. Today, as of Monday, August 9th, we got a tweet from Xbox saying, oh, they pretty much just announced that their Gamescom event is going to be on August 24th at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, with the opening at night live ceremony taking place the very next day on August 25th at 11 a.m. PT. So it's actually not quite like a Gamescom event. I guess it is because it is technically, but it's before Gamescom actually starts. Because Gamescom starts on August 25th, but this thing is on.
Well, I think like the Gamescom conference, I think they're actually like doing an actual conference thing, like a event.
Really?
I don't think it's an online event. It might be an online event. I'm not too sure, but I think the event starts on the 24th, but like the opening night live ceremony, that's like the big, like the press
the big
conference
thing. Yeah,
thing that usually Jeff Keighley is involved with.
That's true.
I don't know if he
is
true. For this, but he might.
I heard that Paris is actually going to host this XCOM,
the
Xbox Gamescom event. So
he's doing the Xbox thing.
Yeah. So that'll be cool. He did a great job in the last one.
I see. So like the Xbox is having their own thing the day before the ceremony.
Huh. Yeah. Isn't that strange?
I wonder why they wanted to be like disconnected like that. Huh.
Like I'm not too familiar with how Gamescom is like set up, but I know they have like a building in Germany and they do their own. It's kind of like a mini E3.
Yeah, it's like a European E3. Yeah.
I don't know if they do press conferences before the actual event starts, like how E3 used to be, where it's like, here's 2 days of conferences and now E3 is starting and the show floor is open for you. It could be the same situation where they just have the press conferences before Gamescom, technically.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it's not a big deal, but I'm excited. It's coming up. We might get some new fucking announcements.
I always enjoy Gamescom too.
I do too.
It always is just sort of a laid back, like here's some neat things, here's some updates, and yeah. And you go in with tempered expectations because it's usually not like a huge event, but it's a nice little thing.
You get updates on a lot of shit usually. You get like,
I hope so.
Dev
That'd be cool.
Dev updates and stuff like that. Like, hey, this is what we're working on, and it's more of like an insider's sort of look into it. Yeah, it would be cool if Sony did show up.
Be cool if they showed like a little trailer for God of War. That'd be nice.
Yeah. So yeah, that happens on August 4th, and Gamescom is August 25th. This little titty I added, says EA isn't getting enough credit for its relationships with its acquisition to studios.
I need you to fill me in on what this means.
Yes. Okay. So they recently did a what do you call that? Like an investor meeting. Did you hear about this? Where they did an investor meeting and all their shit was like really good. They're selling really well.
Yeah, because they're not like the worst studio right now.
Right. Yeah. So this comes.
They normally
from PC.
are, but this time they're not, which is hilarious.
Yeah. So this comes from PCGamesN.com, and he says, who wrote this? I'm not sure who wrote it. It's probably at the bottom. I'll get to it. But they had that investor meeting, and one of the investors asked them how well Codemasters and F1 2021 have done. And CFO Blake Jorgensen says the game has exceeded our expectations and that the studio has integrated well with EA. I think we get We don't get enough credit for this, but EA is a bunch of people who really can work well together, and we do a great job of working with other parts of our company. And when we bring in acquisitions, we work well with them. And it's really funny. I thought this was funny. Right. Yeah, I thought this was really funny because the very next paragraph says, Jorgensen says Respawn is the poster child for successful EA acquisitions. And that part alone was like, yeah, this is good because they totally completely fucked over Titanfall with the release of Battlefront. And it's like, yeah, okay, just because Apex is selling well and they made a good game that kind of overshadowed that shitty release of Battlefield and Titanfall at the same time, that doesn't make it good that you did that to anybody.
They have a successful game in spite of you, not because of you.
Right, exactly.
With Apex. And then they like forced them to make that Jedi game, and I know for a fact they had to crunch it out because they made that game in like a year, maybe 2 years, which is crazy. Like
that game has a lot of, it's real buggy and it's not finished, it's not polished. But
you remember at like E3 one year, there was like an EA Play thing, and Andrea Renee was hosting it, and they were showing off trailers, and then they're like, hey, and here's the head of Respawn, do you guys have anything to show for Jedi Fallen Order? And they're like, no. And then the game came out the next year, and it's like, holy fuck, like, what did you guys have to like put yourself through to like make that game? That's insane.
Thank you. Oh my goodness, you ruined it.
Nick got a drink.
I got a drink. Thank you, Danny. Thank you so much. Much love, one love. Yeah, exactly. It was like that year, it was like, yeah, we don't have anything to show, but it's coming. And then the year afterwards, they released.
And then it came out. It's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah.
Well, and then not to mention, sorry to cut you off again, but not to mention like, what's happened with Crash Bandicoot and no, that's Activision. Fuck.
That's Activision.
That's Activision. Never mind.
Yeah.
I take it back. I'm an
idiot. They
all blend together. They
kind of destroyed the guys that made Dead Space.
Yeah. I forget what they were
Vicarious
called. Visions.
No, it's Visceral.
Visceral. Yeah.
They destroyed Visceral. They destroyed BioWare.
Yeah. Well, BioWare. We'll see.
Yeah. So it's funny because it keeps going, and it says it's a quote from continuing the quote from Blake Jorgensen. It says, "You look at what happened with Apex. This is a team effort. Respawn's obviously driven the amazing development of Apex, but they partnered with us extremely well to drive what is now coming up to almost $2 billion in business over 2 years. That's unheard of in our industry." And it's really funny that's like his highlight, is just like, yeah, we're making so much money off of this game.
It is an investor call though, and that is what they care about.
That's true. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay. But it's funny. It's just funny to me that's
But of course they're gonna say that shit. And it is funny, like, of the big studios right now, the big third party studios, like EA are the good guys right now, which is so fucking bizarre. But
they're hardly the good guys.
I mean, like, when you compare them to like Activision and Ubisoft,
that's true.
They're not abusing their employees, as far as we know.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into that
as far as we know. But
yeah, they seem to be a okay place to work, at least.
I think the fact that they're so corporate, and they have been since the beginning, probably is a benefit to them when it comes to those kind of allegations.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they're probably so vanilla and straightforward.
It probably sucks to work for them. Like, don't get me wrong.
I mean, it's probably fine. It's probably fine in terms of, office politics and whatnot. Like, they probably have a gym and a fucking cafeteria.
You think they have a gym there? You think they're?
Oh yeah.
You think Zack Snyder's there? Like, anyway. But that was a big thing on every set of Zack Snyder's. He builds a gym on the set of the movies that he makes.
Well, that's weird.
And that's why every one of his actors in his movies are always fucking ripped, because they're all just, they do a take of the movie and then they get off of the set and they just start fucking working out. Anyway.
Well, I mean, if you're there for 6 hours, what else are you gonna fucking do, you know?
Yeah.
You're like, okay, my scenes are done, I'm gonna go work out, you know? Yeah, so then that was the second titty. I found it a little interesting that was said. But the next one, WB Games says zombies aren't screaming the N-word in Back for Blood, the beta, which is funny because I don't know if you've heard the video.
I know nothing about it.
You had nothing? I couldn't get into the beta because you have to pre-order, and that is one of the stupidest fucking things in order to get into a beta. Like that.
You could cancel the pre-order though.
You can cancel it, but then it's, I don't know. I hate pre-order.
I did that for Fallout 76. Canceled my pre-order.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. But yeah, apparently, in certain instances, zombies will just sound like they're screaming the N-word, and people are like, "Are they actually like?" It's not quite, but it's like, what did that zombie just say? You know, are the zombies actually like calling me out? So I find it really funny that WB Games had to like. The WB Games had to come out and go, yeah, no, they're not. And they're probably going to have to find that sound clip and like take it out.
Yeah.
And either put something else there, or they're probably not going to do that. But,
yeah, it just seems like a horrible, like, the phonetics of it just sounded like it, and they didn't even realize.
Yeah.
That's hilarious, though. That really is funny.
It's good. It's really good. Yeah. So that's the titties for this week. Not a whole lot going on, but some funny shit. And then we get into the news part, which is going to be kind of dry and kind of serious, but you know, we'll fucking get through it, everybody. Starting with,
we are professionals.
We're professionals, and we deliver the news in an unbiased,
in a very biased. We're very biased.
Yeah, we're fucking biased.
We're very biased. It's all right though.
Yeah,
you are too. That's why you're here.
Yeah, everybody's biased. Yeah. In some way. It's very hard to deliver the news non-biasedly. But anyway, here are the top news stories. We got Blizzard president J. Allen Brack is leaving the company after being named an Activision Blizzard lawsuit. This comes from Leanna Rupert of Game Informer. And this is long, so bear with me if I fuck anything up. Late July, we saw the details concerning a lawsuit against Activision Blizzard by the state of California go public, sparking a global outcry from the gaming community. Allegations include instances of gender discrimination, workplace abuse, sexual harassment, and a culture that contributed to one of the employees ending her life. As both the industry and the gaming community call for change, the company has announced that Blizzard president J. Allen Brack is leaving the company, and Game Informer was told by a source close to Activision Blizzard that this is one of several moves in place, adding that this ousting feels rushed and thoughtless. Game Informer has also confirmed that Jesse Meschuk, Activision Blizzard's head of global human resources, has also departed the company after being referenced in conjunction with the ongoing labor lawsuit. The announcement of the leadership shakeup comes via Blizzard itself in a public statement. It was said that Brack is stepping down effective immediately, with Jen O'Neill and Mike Ybarra, I guess that Y is either silent or Ybarra, taking over as co-leaders moving forward. O'Neill joined the company back in January as Executive Vice President of Development, providing leadership to both the Overwatch and Diablo franchises. Ybarra comes from a background in leadership at Xbox, having joined Blizzard back in 2019. This is a quote. Both leaders are deeply committed to all our employees to the work ahead to ensure Blizzard is the safest, most welcoming workplace possible for women and people of any gender, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or background, to uphold and reinforcing our values and to building your trust, says the statement prepared by a Blizzard representative. There was also a statement from Brack himself, who was one of the few named explicitly in the lawsuit for alleged facilitation of the reported toxic work culture seen within Activision Blizzard. According to Brack, I am confident that Jen O'Neill and Mike Ybarra will provide the leadership Blizzard needs to realize its full potential and will accelerate the pace of change. I anticipate they will do so with passion and enthusiasm, and that they can be trusted to lead with the highest levels of integrity and commitment with the components of our culture that makes Blizzard so special. So, this guy's fucking... he's fucking guilty.
Like, there's a few things here. Like, Jim Sterling or James Sterling, they said, like, on their show, I watched their show this morning, they're like, you know, J. Allen Brack either was part of this culture or didn't know what was going on, which proves that he's a horrible leader. In both instances, he should be fired from the company. Right. So, and I totally agree. So, like, regardless of if he partook in any sort of harassment or, you know, facilitating any sort of, you know, bad work environment, the fact that he allowed it to happen at all is on him. And it's not mentioned in here, but, you know, CEO of Activision, Bobby Kotick, like, he's like, yeah, this is the right call. We needed to get rid of him. He was a bad leader. And it's like, dude, you're just as guilty. You should step down too.
Guilty. Yeah.
Like, Bobby Kotick should absolutely step down too for allowing all of this to happen. Like, if your company gets to the point where like it's being investigated by the state of California, like, it's just not good. And we've said it before, but, like, this is the first we're hearing of
actual layoffs, but, like, firings for sure.
Yeah.
But, like, that statement that he wrote, I am confident that Jen O'Neill and Mike Ybarra will provide leadership Blizzard needs to. That's just so, like, a lawyer. He, like, had a lawyer write this up, and the lawyer's just like, just put this out.
Well,
don't do anything else.
I'm sure even Activision was like, don't even say that, because your you know, thumbs up for these guys is not really a good look right now. Even just like, who are you to say that they're good leaders right now? Like, you have no place to even say that. I'm sure they'll do fine or whatever, and it's good that, you know, the leadership is being shook up and it's being replaced by two people, which is probably a good call, so they can keep each other in check. I have no idea who these people are, you know, so, like, you know, who knows if it's going to be better. This note here about the HR person being fired as well was that was, like, added later in the article, but I think that's really good too, because obviously there was some, like, fucked up HR stuff going on where, like, people were obviously going to HR and nothing was getting done. And that's just the case with every company, where HR is not there to protect the employees. It's there to protect the employers.
Right. Yeah. And I feel like HR would be probably the easiest job in America, because you're just like, yeah, okay, we'll put that in a box that nobody wants, nobody listens to. Like, just write your complaints down and we'll put it in a box. I'm going to be over here playing whatever Overwatch because I work for Blizzard, you know? Because HR does fuck all. They do fuck all, especially in, like, I don't know.
Yep. It's crazy. But it's just crazy that every week, you know, and I think it was either last week or the week before when we were talking about Blizzard. I think it was the week before last, but we were like, you know, we won't try to, like, talk about this too much because we don't want to, like, just use it for content. But, like, it just seems like every week more and more shit, like, starts coming out about this, and it's just, and it gets worse and worse. And, like, it's nice to see that people are actually finally, like, stepping down. But, like, the really fucked up thing is, like, Activision Blizzard up here says, like, it feels rushed and thoughtless, and it's like, come on, guys, this is not rushed at all. Like, this should have happened years ago. This guy should have been fired years ago. Yeah, rushed would have been one person comes to HR and somebody gets fired. Like, that would be rushed, you know. But
if it's been over and it's becoming a lawsuit through the state of California, that is no longer rushed. That is, you have been fucking around for too long and need to fix your shit.
Yep. Rushed would also be Geddy Lee. Sorry, I had to.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah.
I had to throw that in there. Sorry.
Okay. Cool. Musical references, everybody.
I'm sorry.
Our musical reference today, Rush. Yeah, so it's good, but I feel like this is like what's the next company to fuck up? What is the company of 2022 to fuck up? You know, because EA, is it gonna be Cyberpunk or CD Projekt? Like, because last year we had Ubisoft, and that's all of our news stories was Ubisoft. Yep. This person's stepping down, this person's taking over, this guy's now joining this team, this person, and it's just like it's the same shit, but with a different company, a little bit like higher standards though. Like, shit's fucked up. The state's going after you, but yeah. So
I think the biggest difference between Ubisoft and Activision is a lot of the stuff with Ubisoft, as messed up as this sounds to say, happened overseas. So
that's true.
And Activision is an American company, so like, it just seems more relevant to our lives, I guess.
So if you're going to make a video game company and you want to be a total dirtbag to all of your female and and ethnic people that work there, go to Russia, open it in Russia, or open it in.
We don't care if it's in
somewhere,
Russia.
Somewhere where nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, it sounds horrible that I said that, but I do think that's like part of it. Is like, and it also seemed like with Ubisoft, it seemed like more contained like incidents where there was like a particular person that was being shitty. Where it seems like Activision is like the whole work culture is just absolutely fucked.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I don't know.
It's good. It's good that we have a shakeup, and I don't know if a union will come out of this.
I think it should. I think that's the only way to fix it. I've seen some really bad takes online. I don't want to call anyone out, but particularly there was one that I saw that I was just like, this is a really fucking weird take to hear. But like, where they're like, you should still support the games for the developers, because the developers did nothing wrong. And it's like, yeah, but also that's like saying we shouldn't like take kids away from abusive parents because that affects the kids. Like,
well, no, I think
it's like saying the only way to fix this is to unionize and to have some safety nets for the developers. So like, I understand the concern that you want to still support the people that work in these companies that are doing the right things, but it's like, of course your developer friends are going to say that work at Activision. They work in that environment. They may have been part of that environment. You have no clue.
But I think your analogy is more like, instead of, support the parents of the abusive parents, it's more like give your money to the abusive parents so that the abusive parents can hand the money to their kid who's being abused. And it's like, that's not how that works. Yeah. It's because like you're not paying the person who coded the game directly $60. You're giving it to their publisher, and their publisher gives it to distributes it how they do. And it's like, the CEO is still going to make money. Everybody at the top is still going to make way more money than all of the people who are being shitted on,
Well, and like the argument is that a lot of developers get bonuses by how well the game sells or whatever. But that's why that's why there should be unions, and that's why there should be checks and balances. And like, someone said, like, if you don't buy the game, ultimately it's just going to lead to these companies doing layoffs. And it's like, bruh, they're doing that anyway.
Yeah.
They're doing that anyway. So
Yeah.
what do you mean? They don't care about their employees anyway. It was just such a weird take that I saw. And I saw a few people backing this take up, and I was just like, that is such a weird take.
Yeah.
I get it. I understand how you could justify that in your mind, but really I think people should stop buying Activision games for right now. Like, if they're able to turn this shit around, I'm all for like if Activision turns it around in the next few years, great. But it's going to be hard for them to turn it around, I think. But most gamers don't care. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
One of the big, I don't know. This might be a hot take or something, but like, I don't make a lot of money at my job, but I know for a fact that game developers make a livable wage. I'll say just that, a livable wage. Just doing their day-to-day job. When you buy a game and that game sells really well, they get a bonus of like, we put out a game, here's 60 grand or whatever, because you were part of this game, and that kind of went over our expectations. That's just like play money, right? That's just a bonus that they get.
I think it really depends on who you're talking about. You know, I think like the range of how much a developer makes goes from very little to a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm sure there are positions where they're not making a lot, but
I bet like most of them don't make a lot.
But they have to be making enough money for it to be worth it, without getting these bonuses about how many copies they sold.
But like, some people just work at these companies because they're just like, man, I've always wanted to make video games, you know, and like that's a big part of why. That's a big part of why they can get away with like taking advantage of so many people like this, because this is like a dream job for so many people, you know.
Yeah, because I'd do it.
Yeah,
I'd do it for less money, you know. Yeah, I would do it for the same amount of money that I'm making right now. Like,
and I hate to admit it, I'd probably keep my mouth shut about everything too, because it's like, this is a dream job, you know. Like, and it's horrible, but like, that's just the truth, man.
I don't know if I'd keep my mouth shut. I'd be like, I don't know. I gotta go to somebody.
It's easy to say you wouldn't, you know.
Yeah, it is, but I don't know. I just can't. That's just something that I
like to believe I would, but who fucking knows?
I don't think I could stand by. I couldn't like watch that, you know.
Yeah.
If I was aware of it, even, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I have no clue.
Let's go from that low note to another low note. This comes from Nicole Carpenter at Polygon, and it's how the founders' toxic culture tore apart Fulbright, the studio behind Gone Home. This one's kind of long as well. Co-founder Steve Gaynor has stepped down following complaints from employees. Sorry, I'm a child.
It's funny. Hi, your name's Gaylord.
Steve Gaynor stepped down following complaints from employees' development on Open Roads, which was announced in December 2020 and expected to star Kerry Russell from The Americans and Caitlin Denver from Booksmart, is behind schedule. Wow, that is a terrible sentence. 15 employees have left the studio since development on Open Roads began in 2019. Around 6 staff members remain. Speaking with Polygon, 12 former employees said their departure was at least in part due to Gaynor's behavior towards workers, specifically women on the team. At least 10 of the employees who left since Open Roads production began were women. Multiple former employees who spoke with Polygon anonymously out of fear of retaliation described the Fulbright work environment as controlling, a place in which staffers felt undermined and demeaned by Gaynor. Because of Gaynor's status as the co-founder of a beloved indie darling, some former employees have said they were worried about being blacklisted from the industry, though some ended up leaving the industry entirely anyway. These former employees said that they do not experience or witness sexual harassment or explicit sexism. Instead, they said the studio's toxic culture hid behind the veneer of inclusivity, as women were allegedly repeatedly broken down by microaggressions. A Fulbright representative confirmed to Polygon that Gaynor stepped down in March due to the pattern of women leaving the company. Steve stepped down. This is a quote. Steve stepped down in March 2021 after it became clear that the steps that were already being taken to improve his interactions with the team were only yielding temporary results. The representative said more drastic action was needed for the health of the team. The representative also said that Annapurna Interactive, the game's publisher, is aware of the situation at Fulbright and has been instrumental in helping the Open Roads team make changes to its structure. An Annapurna spokesman told Polygon that the company supports the Open Roads team. Following the publication of the story, Gaynor issued a statement to Polygon. And he says, "Hi, all." Wow, what a dick. Hi, all. I have a statement to share about my role at Fulbright. Earlier this year, I stepped back from my role as creative lead in Open Roads. My leadership style was hurtful to people that worked at Fulbright, and for that, I truly apologize. Stepping back has given me space and perspective to see how my role needs to change and how I need to learn and improve as part of a team, including working with an expert management consultant and rethinking my relationship to the work at Fulbright. I care deeply about Open Roads and the Fulbright team. I'm sad I have stepped back from day-to-day development of Open Roads, but it's been the right thing to do. The Open Roads team has my full faith and support as they bring the game to completion. Yeah, so another jackass just fucking tearing people down.
This one seems a little less intense to me. What this seems like is like, this is a dude who started in indie development. Turns out this dude has some serious anger management issues. That is what I'm guessing. And like, he's just a fucking dickhead. Yeah, it goes on in the story to like talk about how he would just openly mock people in front of people. People would bring ideas to him and he would just laugh at them and have, you know, kind of basically force the rest of the people in the office to laugh back. And like, not necessarily like illegal stuff, you know, but like, he's just a fucking asshole. And it looks like he recognizes that. He's like, yeah, I am an asshole. And it seems like, you know, earlier,
I don't know if he actually does recognize that. People probably tell him and he goes, yeah, I know that. But is he going to change? Probably not. I could probably guarantee that he's not actually going to change.
No, and I think that's why he stepped down, because I think he recognizes that as well. Because like what it says here is like, Steve stepped down in March after it became clear that the steps that were already being taken to improve his interactions with the team were only yielding temporary results, which to me sounds like the dude was like in some sort of fucking like behavioral classes and like anger management classes, and it just wasn't working for the dude. And it just sounds like the dude has some serious issues that he needs to address. And the fact that all of his staff were like, fuck this, dude, I don't even want to work here. Like, because it's like, it's much different than Activision, where you're right, they probably get paid pretty well at Activision. This is like an indie development, and they're like, we don't even fucking get paid here. Like, why are we even staying here? So yeah, it's a different situation for sure, but like, yeah, same old at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. It's sad. It's really sad to see, but I don't know. It doesn't go into about like how long he's been doing it. You know, how long he's just had this team underneath him that he's just been fucking hazing the whole time.
I see stuff like the article does go on. I just didn't want to put the whole it's a very, very long article, and it goes into like more of the details about like him and why people haven't said things. Like many of the people were like, we didn't want to say things because we love the projects we were working on here, and we thought if an article would come out that the game would end up getting canceled, and we didn't want the game to get canceled because we've all put like our heart and soul into it, and like, yeah, I don't know, just one of the people in here just says like it's funny to say, but working for him was literally like working for a mean girl.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Yeah. So yeah, it just sounds like he was an asshole, and like, but like they were making good stuff there. Like,
right.
From all accounts, I've heard that Gone Home is amazing. I've heard Tacoma is amazing. Like, so.
Yeah. Yeah. And it just sounds like he's a dick and hard to work with, and just like it just seems like a fucking shitty place to work. And
it's really, I feel like a sense of like pride, I guess. Like, it feels good that like people aren't getting away with this shit anymore, you know, like this back in the day I feel like would have just gone on forever, like, you know, the whole like Harvey Weinstein thing. Not that this guy is like Harvey Weinstein, but you know, like people just got away with that shit because exactly what it said up here, where it's like we thought we would get blacklisted if we said anything from the entire industry, because this guy's like an indie darling. And, just it's cool that kind of thing is seemingly dying.
Yeah, exactly.
But we'll see.
I like that too. It gives me hope for the future of video game development, you know. But we will see. There's always going to be shitty people to work for, especially in indie places where somebody has a vision, and if you don't see their vision, then you can get the fuck out of my office, you know, kind of shit. So I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm not even like opposed to like a stern workplace, you know, like that works for some people, but like just being an outright asshole is just never a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you're losing your whole team every year and having to start over. Yeah, it's just like
it said earlier,
maybe
like,
it's you.
It said earlier that they had 6 staff left. It's like, oof.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then we got the last bit of news. The Steam Deck might struggle to play some games on big TVs. This comes from a very weird named person named Zach Zwazen. Fuck, dude. Zach Zwazen. I'm going to stick with it. Zach Zweezen from Kotaku. You weren't helping me at all. You were just watching me struggle in the fucking
I couldn't do it better. Zweezen sounds right to me.
Zach Zweezen from Kotaku. You're famous now, Zach, because I've said your name so many times. Give me money. The Steam Deck, like the Nintendo Switch, can be docked and connected to a TV or monitor. Valve confirmed this back when it was announced. But now the publisher behind Steam has revealed that docking the portable PC won't lead to any performance boosts in games. This could lead to some issues if you decide to hook up your Steam Deck to a big 4K TV. In an interview with PC Gamer, Valve's Greg Coomer explained that when developing Greg Coomer explained that when developing and designing the Steam Deck, Valve had thought about adding a higher power mode that would be activated after docking the device. However, the company decided against it. In a continued quote, he says, "We felt that it was actually better all things considered to not modify based on dock status or mobile status," Coomer explained. "We really wanted to prioritize for using it in what we thought would be the highest use case, which is actually mobile. I totally understand that. That's how I play the Switch, like exclusively now." He continues, Coomer told PC Gamer, and so since we were focusing on that and we chose like a threshold where the machine will run well, and Jesus, dude, is this guy from somewhere else? Is English a second language?
I think he's just like talking in an interview. So this is like transcribed. So it just is a little weird, you know?
Yeah.
Like if you were to transcribe my last sentence there, it would look a little weird.
It would look a little weird. Okay.
You know, so
and so since we were focusing on that and we chose like a threshold where the machine will run well and with a good frame rate with AAA games in that scenario, we didn't really feel like we should target also going after the dock scenario at higher resolutions. We wanted a simpler design target and to prioritize that. Okay, let me decrypt this. So he's saying pretty much that having it docked and having it mobile, handheld, is not going to change anything. And they decided to go against that because they feel like most people are going to play mobile anyway. That's pretty much what it is. So they decided to prioritize just what they could do on a mobile thing. So it sounds like it doesn't have very good 4K capabilities is what it just sounds like. Like maybe the graphics card is not a 4K graphics card. 4K capable graphics card.
It's something I didn't even really think about. You know, when I heard of the Steam Deck, and I like that in this statement he's basically like, no, this is we're making this as a mobile device. Like this is a handheld. Right. That is our main market, which is funny because that's like the opposite of what the Switch does, where the Switch is like, it's a home console that you can take on the go.
Yeah.
But this is the opposite, where like this is a mobile that you can shoot up on your TV, which is in reality, we all know that's what the Switch is too. But Nintendo refuses to admit that. So yeah, it's something I didn't even think about. And
I didn't either, but it makes sense. It's like, yeah, how would you, because a 4K graphics card, you know, is like this big, you know, 4K capable graphics card. It's huge.
Right.
And you're going to put that in a handheld. That thing would heat up so quick and melt everything.
You'll just have to change your settings in the game if you put it on your 4K TV. That's it. You'll just have to play it on lower settings, which is fine.
Yeah, don't play it at 4K.
Yeah, it'll run just fine on your TV still. As long as
you won't even see the difference probably.
Yeah. And, you know, just get yourself a little 1080p monitor if it's a real issue, you know?
Yeah, if you're buying this thing for... if you're buying this thing to put it in a dock and expect it to run 4K games, you're probably buying the wrong system.
Yeah,
you know?
Like, don't buy this as your PC. Like,
yeah, please. Well, I mean, unless you're like broke and this is the only way you could do it. But yeah, don't. If this is going to be your main way to play video games on your 4K TV, it's probably a bad idea. You know.
Yeah, or just get like a 1080p monitor. They're pretty cheap these days. They look fine. They look fine.
They look fine, and the refresh rate is way better on them.
Yeah,
for the price.
I'm looking at my curved screen. 20-inch 1080p monitor, and it looks wonderful. I'm looking at Nick's beautiful face on it, and it looks wonderful. I don't need 4K. I say while sitting next to a 60-inch 4K TV.
Wow, fucking style on them. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's what we got today. A lot of shit news, ending with some.
That's just where we're at in the world, huh? Like it's just like the world sucks, man, and it's not getting better.
We got 2 weeks. Gamescom is happening, and then we'll be back to hyping up something.
I know.
Rather than like, oh yeah, lawsuits and people getting fired and people being shitty to other people and the world fucking sucks. And also the Steam Deck can't do 4K. It's like, okay.
I have way more fun when we're talking about characters in Back 4 Blood saying the N-word, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It's a way more fun topic.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. What to look forward to next week? Godfall's coming out on the PlayStation 4 on August 10th. The Lawn Mowing Simulator comes out on Xbox.
I had to put that one in there.
I guess you did.
I had to put it
Xboxes
in
and
there.
PC on August 10th as well. Glitch Punk, which I've never heard of, but it sounds cool. It sounds intriguing. Comes to PC on August 11th. Hades, hell yeah, Game of the Year should have been. Is coming out on PlayStation 5, Xboxes, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and that's going to be on August 13th. So
that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, if you haven't played that game, fucking play that game when this comes out, because it is super good, and it should have won Game of the Year, but I understand that it was up against The Last of Us, and that's a stacked, as we say in the biz.
I think if The Last of Us didn't come out, it would have won for sure.
For sure. Yeah, super good. Last week's question, we're getting to it now because I completely forgot about it in the beginning.
We've got time.
Last week's question, nobody answered, but we're going to answer it. I asked everybody what Olympic sport you think you could compete in, and not necessarily win, but just compete in.
What would you like to win a medal in?
Yeah. What would you like to win a medal? That would be kind of interesting. Yeah. What sport? And we'll stick with the Summer Olympics.
Yeah.
Okay.
I say we do both, summer and winter.
Okay. We'll start with summer and then we'll go to winter. Okay. For me in the summer, the sailing. I think sailing would be my Nice. I think sailing would be mine because that just looks like a whole lot of fun. Just freaking go. It looks like a lot of work, and I think I'd be terrible at it. I'd probably fall out of the boat a couple of times, but it looks really fun. What about you? What are you thinking?
I think
the backstroke.
Yeah, the backstroke. No, I don't really like swimming that much. I think running is not fun.
Okay.
It's not a fun thing. I don't really like basketball too much. I got hit in the face as a child playing baseball.
Oh my God. Is baseball an Olympic sport?
Baseball is an Olympic sport, yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah. Soccer, too much running. I'm not interested in that.
There's so much running, yeah.
Yeah, and even when I played basketball as a child, there was one time I was running up the court and this kid was like, "Jake, catch the ball." And you threw it to me right in the face. Right in the face. And that's why I quit most of the sports, because I got hit in the face with balls, and I don't like balls in my face.
You just couldn't catch them.
So I'd have to go with the new sport this year, man. Skateboarding. Hell yeah.
Skateboarding. That's a cool pick. That's a cool pick.
Yeah, dude. I've always loved skateboarding. I've never been able to do it. We used to longboard a little bit, but I can't skateboard.
not any tricksters, yeah. But if you could,
if I could,
sure.
I would absolutely compete in skateboarding, because skateboarding is cool as fuck. And it seems laid back, everyone's just like, "Nice job, dude. You're killing it out there, bro." Thanks,
I got to say, the way this Olympics is going, everybody just seems genuine out there.
It just ended, actually.
Oh, it just ended? But everybody seems genuine. I've seen multiple things of just sportsmanship, those guys that ran. They did some sort of running thing. I don't remember if it's hurdles or just a sprint, but they it was too close to call.
Yeah,
and if whoever won, and they're just yeah, we'll both take one. Yeah. We'll both be gold. It doesn't matter to me.
Or the one where the dude accidentally tripped the other dude while they were running, and they just wrapped their arms around each other and just walked to the finish line together. I also think a big part of that is people just don't really care this year. They're dude, this Olympics doesn't matter. There's no one in the stands. No one's really fucking watching. No one cares. There's a pandemic. This is so pointless and meaningless in the grand scheme of things right now.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
I like it. Okay, so winter sport, you go first.
Can I got two. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Speed skating, because I think speed skating is wild as fuck.
Okay, it's kind of boring.
The skates are so long, though. Why are they so long?
Oh, why they're so long?
And they're just go fast around. I don't like
around
running.
A circle.
I don't like running, but I think speed skating would be fun. Okay.
Okay.
And then
I'd
also
get dizzy at speed skating. Honestly, and just be I'm done.
The luge.
Which one is that one?
That's the one where you sit in the thing and go down the like slide in the.
Isn't that bobsledding?
Well, bobsledding is like with the one person, but the luge is like with the multiple people, and it's more of like a guys. Car sort of deal. Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna say the exact same thing because that looks fucking fun as shit. Yeah. Just fucking running and then jumping in the thing and just. That would be sick. That would be sick.
I was scarred as a child because there was one Winter Olympics where the dude was doing the luge and he went around the corner and he flew off his thing and like hit a pole and
died.
And they kept re-showing it.
Yeah.
And I was
Didn't he die?
He died.
He died, right?
He died. And I was like 12 years old and I'm like, oh my God. And I was like really into the Olympics because I was 12 and I'm like, this is cool as hell. And I just kept watching this guy die on NBC News and I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. I remember that actually.
That scarred me a little bit, but
I don't think I saw it live, but I saw it after the fact and
Yeah. Because it was during a practice, but they kept fucking re-showing it. Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh man,
what do you prefer more, the summer or winter Olympics?
Winter, dude.
I think winter's way more exciting.
Winter is more exciting. Yeah. Although I do like the amount of games that there are in the summer. Like there's just such a variety. It's like, basketball's on. Now we got gymnastics. It's like gymnastics. Now we got shot put.
But like winter has some weird ones where you're like skiing but with a rifle and you have to stop your skiing and then
cross country rifle shooting.
There's some weird ones in winter that I really like, and they're just like they're all fun to put on, where like the summer ones it's like I don't know if I can watch a dude swim for like 10 hours.
Or like exactly.
But I will say water polo is fucking crazy, man.
I would
These dudes are like sprint swimming and then like drowning each other. They're like drowning each other. It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's the craziest shit I've ever seen.
Fucking nuts.
Anyway.
The Olympics is wild. Anyway, we'll end the show there. Jake, do you have a question that nobody will answer? No question. All right.
I don't really have a question. How come?
Okay.
That's my question.
There you go. How do you come? There's the plugs. I'm gonna come. How would you come? How would you come? Well, we will answer it next week.
Yeah. How would you come?
How would you come? Don't forget to check out our other Lonercast shows. The Jake and Corey podcast airs on YouTube every Monday, and our Loner Spoiler Cast, our Spoiler Lonercast, airs every Wednesday. We're doing Marvel MCU, so we just did Thor. That'll be up on Wednesday. Check that shit out. It's really good, and I still can't say the name of it. Check us out on Twitter. Jake is at emergencypizza_. I am at fatal_microwave. You can follow our channel at the Lonercast 1. I also forgot to mention that Jake just did a show with his sister, his twin sister. I'm just kidding, they're not twins. About a Twilight. Yeah, and it's pretty funny. It's well edited and it made me giggle a couple of times.
Thank you.
So you check that out. And don't forget to tune in to twitch.tv/Lonercast every Monday at 3:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to check out this show, and also spoiler casts right after it usually. So yeah, check us out. Subscribe, follow, like, ding the bell, stab your dad, all that other good stuff. Yeah, take care, everybody. It's been real.